Hey, Miss Billy Dawn. Can you hear me? I was on a while ago and Vincy couldn't hear me and then Nina couldn't hear me, so I tried again. Yay! How have you been doing? The temperature started dropping up there. I think you and Vincy just needed to clean your ears out a while ago. 30 this morning? Crap. We only got down to like 48, I think. Let's see. What's wrong with it? I sent a picture to Nina this morning at 7:40 and it was 45 degrees. 30. Jeez. No. No. I'm going to take 90 over 30 any day of the week. Sour, there was frost in Duluth, and I thought, no, I ain't lost anything up north. This sure has been a pretty fall so far. The leaves are starting to change a little bit. Some of the earlier fallen leaves have already started to fall, and Big Daddy's like wearing his blowing machine out, trying to blow all the leaves off the back porch because they're just going to turn around and laugh at him and blow back on there when he turns his back. So Nina, do you know if Julie's going to be here or not? There she is. Hi, sister. This is a different style of book. Dang, girl. I so was not expecting this tonight. Hey, bitch. How's Liberty? I was told I'm not allowed to call you Karen. I can call you bitch and I can call you Liberty, but I can't call you Karen. Dying, why? You got cooties? All right. It's 10 after. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Vincy is probably trying to figure out what's wrong with her phone because she thinks it was her phone. Oh, girl, don't be all. Don't be all. Okay, so this is called Freya's Revenge. It's book 12 in the Phoenix Forces series, and it's kind of like a mercenary type thing. In other words, it would be more in the style of what am I thinking? I don't know. I've read so many of them, but I can't think of any of the authors now. Military romance, yes, thank you. Only she's the military person, which is kind of a little odd it shouldn't be odd for nowadays, but you just don't normally hear it this way. So, what we're going to do is, I'm going to read she's got the Norseman's Battle Prayer here from the movie The 13th Warrior. My daddy and my brother decide 8 o'clock every night is time to blow my phone up. So, my brother is having his house is being redone, and so he's like giving pictures every 5 minutes on it. Okay, so lo there do I see my father. Lo there do I see my mother. Lo there do I see my brothers and my sisters. Lo there do I see the line of my people back to the beginning. Lo, they do call to me. They bid me take my place among them in the halls of Valhalla, where the brave may live forever. Okay, prologue. 5 years earlier. Jackie! Where is my Jackie at? I haven't seen her yet, but she was supposed to be here. Okay. Well, the girl's name is Jackie. Yeah.
Freya. Target acquired.
My mic crackles in my ear as I slow my breathing and focus on the target. A woman in her mid to late 30s is strolling through the market, and behind her is a group of men. Each man is carrying a holstered weapon on his hip except one. He is carrying an AK-47 positioned up in the air. His finger is resting against the round outline of the trigger.
Freya, is your target acquired?
It should be more like
Freya, is your target acquired?
The voice crackles again in my ear. My eyes never leave the new wife of the man who killed my family. But I can't seem to pull the damn trigger. A shot fires, and I watch through the lens as the man with the AK-47 falls to the ground, and the people scream and scatter. I'm frozen to my spot, focusing on the crowd, but my mind starts to remember the night that started all my nightmares. Jackie, sweetheart, take your brother and sister to your room, and don't come out until morning. Jessup and I have a few people coming over, my mother whispers. Her eyes were going over her shoulder, looking at our new stepdad and the man that gives me the chills. But Mom, what happens when Jenna wants to leave? You know he never listens to me, and Jenna follows him. I stomp my foot and make Jessup's beady eyes land on me. Jenna and Jenna, you listen to your sister, always, my mother whispers and then pushes us up the stairs. Something is bothering her, and I don't know what. As the night plays on, things from downstairs get louder. They begin to drown out the movie that we were watching. My mother screams, and Jenna dart from the room. Jenna! Thank you, Julie. Get back here. It's not safe. I yell and run after them. As my foot hits the middle of the staircase, I watch in horror as armed men storm into our living room and start to fire. The bullets hit my mother in the middle of her chest. The blood blossoms on the front of her dress as 2 other shots ring out. Turning my head in time to watch Jenna crumble to the floor, blood seeping from wounds on the back of their heads. 3 bullets were all it took for my family to be ripped from me. Tears fill my eyes as I look at the destruction spilling across my living room floor. My body screams for me to turn to run, but it's not until Jessup shouts, "Get the girl! She will be sold to the highest bidder for her virginal flower." Running back up the stairs and into my dad's old gun room, I hide behind the empty gun locker in the small cutout in the wall. This place used to be filled with ammunition and tactical gear, but now it sits empty and bleak. A small vent on the wall allows airflow and keeps the musty smell to a minimum. Heavy footfalls land on the stairs and outside the door. We never showed Jessup this area. My mom always told us it was our safe place, our haven away from all the world's pain. When we were afraid or just wanted to be near our dad, we would hide there. Another bitch vanished. When she comes back, she gets to suffer with the decomposing of the bodies. Then we'll pick her up.
I'm telling you, if we get a taste before the boss sells her, I want the untouched parts. A thickly accented voice states. She was here, but she won't be for long. This place is rigged to blow at 10 minutes, and there is no way that we won't see her run out of the house, Jessup states. Then storms back down the stairs as the door slams. My body starts to panic. I need to get out of here without being seen. I only have a few minutes to get to the hidden entrance in the basement and run toward my uncle's abandoned farm. I quickly got out from where I was hiding, took the stairs down to the massacre that was once my family, and headed toward the pantry. I stop at the kitchen door and look over my shoulder, taking in the sight. Blood everywhere. My mom, dressed in her fancy ball gown, lay spread out on the floor, her eyes open and her mouth wide, as if she is still screaming. Jenner lay crumpled in a ball on the floor, the back of his head shattered from where the bullet hit. Jenna lay on her back as she did when she would lie on the kitchen floor staring up at the clouds coming from the boiling pot on the stove. I promise you with everything I am, I will find vengeance for all of your deaths. I whisper and run into the pantry and out through the door. The outside area was dark, but the street lamps were only a few feet to the left and right of me. I notice if I run forward, following the diagonal line, I can make it halfway to my uncle's place, and then from there I can hide until I figure out what to do next. I quickly make my way to the edge of the dark, the one place where the light meets dark and gives the enemy a chance to catch sight of me. Creeping to the edge, I close my eyes and slow my breathing down. I count to 5 and then take off toward the back of the property. I run as fast as my legs can take me and dive behind the graying wooden barn. I crawl into the hole that has been placed by animals digging to get into the barn and away from the colder temperatures and hide in the hay. I can hear them shouting, but they never get close to the barn. Then suddenly it's silent. The only sound that can be heard is the chirp of the crickets and the whistle of the wind as it takes away the one thing I thought I could hold on to until the blast from the house echoes through the night.
Freya, snap the fuck out of it and get the fuck out of there. Whoever fired that shot was not a friendly.
My commanding officer's voice shouting into my ear brings me back to the present. I grab my gear and sneak back the same way I came, tossing my gear into the back seat and diving in as shots whiz past my head and shatter the side mirror. Fuck! Move! I screech as my partner slams on the gas and we bolt forward, heading toward the base and back in the form of the 50 cal gun guarding our entrance and the people inside the base.
Freya, be prepared to jump out and fucking fire. They are coming in hot,
my partner yells, and as the gates open and the heavy sound of the 50 cal can be heard, the Humvee slams to a stop and we bail out of the vehicle, spinning around and shooting at the enemy.
Jackie, what the fuck happened out there?
General Simmons questions me as I sit in his office. I called in at the crack of dawn and knew this was the end of my military career. The one thing I had fought so hard to maintain is the last thing my nightmares will take from me. General Simmons, it's the blood. It's always the blood. As soon as I see it, it sets me back to when my family was murdered. Every single time I see it. I mumble and look down at my fingers, slouching further into the chair I was demanded to sit in.
This is it, Jackie. I'm sending you home. Get help and try not to kill anyone,
he states and stands up. But General, he holds up his hand and shakes his head, cutting me off before I can finish.
You are a liability to this mission and any future missions. Pull your head out of your ass and get control of the demons causing the chaos. Dismissed.
He finishes and I slowly stand, salute him, then he returns it and I leave his office. Kicked from my team because of a fucked up man who murdered my family. I will get my life back on track and finish what I started
Revenge will be mine as I watch for his life force leak into the dirt. Jessup Kingman, a man connected to the mafia overseas, a high-ranking soldier in the Machinko, I hope I said that right, Machinko family, and the one who is well known for his love of stealing things like a woman's virginity to pay for his lavish lifestyle. He will pay with his life, and I will be the one pulling the fucking trigger. I will seek my revenge and hopefully find out why he had to kill the only family I had left. I need to put those nightmares to rest. I will seek my revenge for you, Jenna and Jenna. You were too young to die, I whisper as I slam into the barracks, storm over to my bunk, and start to pack my footlocker, hoping the whole time to make it off the base before anyone can ask me questions. 3 years later, there's Vincy Lou Who. Keep me posted, Ori. Still there. 3 years later, Jackie, Chapter 1. Ms. Ross, why do you think you are here? The therapist asked. I have been sitting in the same spot for almost 30 minutes. It's always the same question. It's been the same question for the last 3 years of coming to this place. How would you feel watching your family get shot in front of you? Watching their blood seep out of the hole in their chest or head? Then hearing the man who was supposed to protect you want to sell you to the highest bidder? It's always the same answer. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Listening to her guidance, I close my eyes. Now tell me. Now tell me about your escape from the man. I ran. I ran so hard to get to my uncle's barn, desperately wishing the men didn't see me, making it about halfway across the grassy area before the shouts of, "There she is!" could be heard. Picking up speed, I ensured that I was always zigzagging to ensure they never knew which way I was going. When I got closer to the barn, the shots started to hit the ground around me. Slipping into the barn and heading to the area my uncle had closed off as a bomb shelter, I swing open the heavy door with all my might and climb in, letting the door slam close, and then I bolt the heavy-duty lock into place and climb into the furthest corner and cover my ears. I don't know how long I was in there. I know my tears flowed freely. I lost everyone I loved in a matter of seconds at the hands of a man my mother should have never been with. My uncle warned her before he disappeared. Curling up on the floor, I cry myself to sleep, dreaming of the happy times when my dad was still alive and how moving into the big house was a dream of my mother's that my dad made happen. Then he was gone. His life was cut short by a bullet meant to hit the criminal. He was the first man that showed me what it was like to have a man care for his family and gave me a vision of how I would not like to be. But now, all I want to do is find Jessup Kingman and seek my revenge. Waking up to a growling from my stomach and the urgent need to relieve myself, rubbing the sleep from my eyes, I look around the room. It's dark, but I know there is power to this place. My uncle had made sure that it was always paid. He made sure we always had a place to go that was safe. When my uncle vanished, my mom quietly continued to keep the bills paid. I crawl toward where I think a wall is, and as my hand connects with the cold cement of the wall, I crawl up until I'm standing. Then start to feel along the wall for anything that feels like a switch or buttons or something along those lines. I hit the corner of the wall, and as I placed my hand on the next wall, it came, it came in contact with the switch. Running my hand over it, flipping it up to nothing, and then down to nothing. I mumble to myself about having the worst luck in the world when I flip it up again and the lights flicker and slowly turn on. The room is small. There are cupboards on one side of the room, a gun cabinet on the other, and a counter running along the same wall as the cupboards. I slowly make my way over to the counter when my eyes land on an envelope addressed to me. My Jackie girl, if you're reading this note, then my fears came true. First, I want you to know I am so proud of the woman you are turning into, and I know your father would have been proud of all your accomplishments, much like I am. My hope is you, Jenna got away and are together to carry on the Ross name. Be proud of it. It has meaning and pride behind it. Your Uncle Peter's death is on me. When I found out about Jessup's business, I came to him and he helped me go to the police. That was the last day I saw him, confirming what I knew. Jessup Kingman is a high ranking member of an overseas mafia. He has ties to human trafficking and so many more terrible things. I don't know why he chose me to latch onto, but I wish I would have stuck to my gut feeling and never introduced him to you or the others. There is a lockbox filled with money for you and the three storage discs. These are filled with information that may potentially put Jessup away. I want you to grab the bag from the gun cabinet and fill it with whatever you need. Then I need you to go to the police and talk to Detective Elmer. Show him this letter and follow his direction as to what to do next. Only see Detective Elmer. Be safe, my precious girl, and remember how much I love you and how proud I am and will always be. You are my goddess of love and always will be. Find your Odin and make sure to protect your heart, to always protect your heart. With my love, Mom XOXO. I slowly open my eyes and look at the therapist. Her mouth is hanging open, tears flowing down her face, wiping my cheeks. Yes, I remember everything from that day. I can't forget it. My nightmares have taken so much from me. It's why I'm here. I need to be able to deal with this so I can be a functioning member of society and not this bitch who blacks out at the slightest trigger. I'll see you next week. And Jackie, your story is one uniquely yours, but it doesn't define who you are at this place and time. Nodding, I walk out of the office knowing I will never be back. It's time I moved, and I think my destination is California. Chapter 2. 1 year later, Jackie. Sitting on the rocks that jet out into the ocean has always had a common effect on my soul, but not today. A war rages deep in my veins, all from a simple news report that tells me the very man I need to seek revenge on has stepped back onto United States soil, and the FBI and different agencies are on the lookout for him. Following that report was a slew of missing teenager reports, all females with black hair and of shorter stature. Kingman, you will get what's coming to you, and it will be by my hands, or better yet, my bullet. I say the words to the sun, running the onyx crystals sitting on my left wrist. I close my eyes as the sun's heat beats down on my face, breathing in the ocean air as the seagull squawks fly overhead. I begin to say the wish I make faithfully every day at sunrise. Grant me the serenity to follow through with my revenge, to bring a stop to the evils in this world and protect the innocent. Please let me find the Odin to my Freya and live with love in my heart and no more hate. Let my nightmares turn into dreams and my life become fulfilled. I take a deep breath and slowly open my eyes as the alarm on my phone goes off. I have a meeting with a woman that will help me feel like I belong to a team again. Standing up and making my way back over the rocks until my feet land firmly on the sand, I make my way to my car and toward the little cafe where I'm to meet Claire. I had messaged her before I came to California, asking to meet up with her when I got out. I want to feel like a part of the team. I want to belong. I know she wasn't expecting me to reach out to her. It had been a spur of the moment decision when I sent her an email telling her I had heard through the grapevine she was in town and would like to have a word. No matter how long you were away, someone connected with the military always knew when you were back. When a message came through saying she would meet with me this morning and was interested to know what I wanted. My past before I became the leader of a Delta Force team was something I kept close to my chest. I had met her when I had taken on secondment to head up SEAL Team 5. Like many in the military special forces, I was tight-lipped about my history, and I knew she wouldn't pry. One thing I did know, Claire was one of the best shots I had ever worked alongside when our missions had crossed paths. I was known to be stealthy and resourceful. I had extensive training as a field medic. It was why I had made a leader so easily. No one would expect the team lead to be a medic. My last mission with Delta had been FUBAR, fucked up beyond all recognition, and team members had been killed. I had almost been court-martialed when 2 team members had fucked me over by lying. Fortunately, the crew of the plane I had jumped from had presented a different, more convincing account, the truth, and I had been spared from a court-martial but discharged from my post. The exoneration hadn't been enough for me. The accusations by people I had trusted stung, and when I had walked away from the military, I had an office job, something I hated doing, but I still needed to pay my bills. Although we had gotten along well during our brief encounters, I wouldn't have said we were friends, and her wanting to speak with me certainly piqued my interest. I was ready to belong to a team, and I wanted it to be hers. Standing outside Tabby's cafe has my anxiety high. Pulling out my phone, I look at Claire's message and check the date. I don't understand why this meeting has me nervous. My eyeballs itching tonight, y'all. I saw the dedication to your dad, Julie. I just saw your sentence about fun story. Jackie Ross is named after my dad. I saw the dedication. A lot of times I can't read those types of dedications because I'm crying, and it will be all red and blotchy before the live reading. Standing outside Tabby's cafe has my anxiety high. Pulling out my phone, I look at Claire's message and check the date. I don't understand why this meeting has me nervous. I was the one who requested it. But what happens if Claire doesn't want me? What happens if Claire can't get past my military record? I breathe deep and pull the door open, walking into the diner. A cold blast of air hits the top of my... Where did that yawn come from? That was out of the gut. A cold blast of air hits the top of my head and sends a shiver through my body. The smells of fried food and sweet baked goodness made my stomach growl. Can I help you, ma'am? It's a young man. Can I help you, ma'am? A young man dressed in black pants and a white shirt draws my attention. I'm meeting a friend, I indicated, pointing to the table in the back corner. I'll have coffee, 2 cream and 2 sugars. I'll bring it over. Thank you. I zigzagged my way through many tables, some occupied and others vacant. I didn't have to wait long as I watched an official lady open the door and make her way into the building. She holds herself like her presence is commanding the entire diner. She speaks to the man I did before making her way to the back where I'm sitting. Thanks for coming, Claire. I glance at the mill of photos she places on the table. I'm curious as to why you wanted to meet, Claire states before she slides into the chair in front of me. I heard about your family and I'm so very sorry. She nodded in acknowledgement and waited for me to continue. I also heard you left the Navy on unpleasant terms. I was tired of the red tape. Oh God, my eyeball. Sorry, y'all. That drive me crazy. I was tired of the red tape and hands being tied and fucking assholes getting away with killing innocents because our government refused to step up to the plate. I am sort of told them exactly that before I walked out. So, what are you doing now? I asked as I surveyed my surroundings. The waiter places a coffee in front of me and one in front of Claire. You ever had the black cherry? IBC? Love those things. So, what are you doing now? I asked as I surveyed my surroundings. The waiter places a coffee in front of me and one in front of Claire. We both thank him and wait until he is out of hearing range before Claire questions, "What do you think I'm doing? What do you think I'm doing, Jackie?" "I have no idea, but I'm hoping you're doing something I can be a part of before I go crazy. When word reached me you had hit City Street, I was shocked at first, knowing you are military through and through. Then my gut told me you had something in mind and had the money to make it happen. Covert ops?" I watched as she sat back in the chair, her hands clasped together on the table. I knew she hadn't mentioned a word to anyone other than her contacts. I had an instinct. I knew people and figured out how they thought, even if I just only just met them. She nods slowly and sips at the steaming hot coffee. "I'm putting together a covert ops team. As far as public perspective is concerned, we'll be a security firm. I have a state-of-the-art compound ready to activate about an hour from here. I want to take out the motherfuckers the government has failed to take action against." "You covered?" "Usual, a CIA contact here for the more private contracts, extraction and such, and a contact in Washington for non-sanctioned government work. Terms are what you would expect. Anything we do will be denied if we're caught. We don't exist. You don't have a family. You don't have a family, if I remember correctly." "No, I don't," I snapped, the memory threatening to take over. But I took a deep breath and blew it out. Claire's head tilted, and her demeanor changed after she mentioned my family. She had caught my anger. "Won't you get in the way of existing teams?" "No, because my team will be the best. And if we do end up with the same targets, we'll be in and out before they zip their dicks into their pants." I laughed. "I see your opinion of men hasn't changed." She snaps her eyes darkly. "No, it hasn't. Are you interested because I'm in need of a third sniper?" "For fuck's sake, do you need to ask?" She smiles as she pushes the file towards me. "Read and sign these." "Now?" "Now. I'm guessing my remains will never be found if I cross any lines with the team." She chuckles. "I trust you to do the right thing, Jackie. I've seen your passion for justice firsthand. But yeah, cross me and your bones won't be found until aliens arrive." "I won't let you down, Claire. I need this more than you could ever know." I quickly read through and signed the papers before closing the file and pushed it toward her. "Welcome to the team." She hands me a slip of paper with an address on it. "Meet me here at 3 this afternoon, and I'll show you around your new workplace." She finishes the last of her coffee, picks up the file, and stands. "Will you have a problem leaving your job without giving notice?" "I doubt it. Let's say I'm not the most popular person in the place." I stayed, a smirk playing on my lips. I rose and engulfed Claire in a hug. "Thanks, Claire, for being a lifesaver. You're one of the best snipers I know, and it's me who should be thanking you." I sat back on the table, and after saying goodbye, I watched as Claire headed out toward her car. A sense of belonging takes over my system as I lean back in my chair. not. I love these kind of stories. I love military stuff anyway. Sitting up, I pull out my phone and send a resignation letter to the Human Resources Department, letting them know effective immediately I would no longer be available to work for the company. Y'all, I just gotta say, my crazy boss, technically his last day is Friday, but reality it was yesterday. And because he had to get back to Florida before the hurricane, as my grandmother would say, the hurricane hit down there. He is at Port St. Joe, so he's about an hour east of Panama City, and right on the edge. If you're watching those outer bands, they're at they split his house. So yeah, I had a lot of people in Florida that's being affected by all this. Yeah, I may be going crazy for the next couple of months until we find a new boss and figure out the changes, and if I need to quit a job. I don't like to quit. I kind of like my job. Chapter 3. When I left the diner, I had a new outlook on life. I finally had a sense of home, knowing that moving forward, I will have people who support me and will always have my back. I needed to head home and freshen up. Sitting at the beach and then in a diner has me smelling like a fish and chip truck. Getting in my car, turning the key, and listening to my girl roar to life before taking off. Once I go through my door, I close it, head toward the bathroom, and jump into the shower, cleaning as quickly as possible, then leaving my apartment, making sure to lock the door. As I turn around, 2 children play on the sidewalk with chalk. They are harmless and don't see me, but my vision starts to fade and my breathing becomes shortened. Hey, let's move out of the way and let the lady pass, okay? A female states, and the kids echo, yes, Mom. Hey, it's okay. My brother was in the army. I know PTSD when I see it. Her common voice lets my vision come back, and my breathing becomes intense. I'm sorry, I whisper, wiping the tears from my eyes. She smiles at me and steps back, allowing me to go through. When I have Jessup taken care of, I'm going to come back and get to know my neighbors better. I pull in behind a pumpkin orange truck, sliding past a blacked out Crow motorcycle. I have always admired bikes, and this one is like the ultimate perfection, sitting beside a Mustang. Parking beside the truck I pulled in behind, I climb out of my car and take in the group of women standing around. Ladies, I am so glad you showed up. Claire starts talking about the Phoenix Force and how this agency is made for women and run by women with skills that rival their male counterparts. Claire looks around the group before making eye contact with me and gestures for me to raise my hand. Jackie Ross, also known as Freya. She is one of the top snipers in the world. She has awards that make the top male look like a kindergartner. Welcome, Jackie, to the Phoenix Force. Your bunk mate is Nevada. You will be on the lower level of the building with rooms on opposite sides of the compound. Now, let's go and have dinner and get to know each other. I will let you in on our connections and who will feed us our information. You have to be shitting me. No men. Oh. You have to be shitting me. No men. I laugh at Mac's outburst. No men. Well, fuck me. We all laughed at Mac's colorful language. Since we're all here, let's get started. Haley, Daisy, I'll show you over the building once the orientation is finished. Claire states. Both ladies nod, and then Claire leads us through the kitchen and living area to the elevators. We split into two groups after she instructs everyone on what would be going down to the basement level. The elevators came to a stop and we all pile out.
Holy fuck!
Hallie explains as she gives the area the once over. Daisy's eyes were wide with disbelief. The operations room, Claire clarifies as a few of us see it for the first time. We all gather at the conference table where jugs of water, glasses, and plates of cookies. Claire takes a seat at the head of the table and waits while we all settle. All eyes turn to her anticipation high. First of all, welcome. You have all been carefully chosen for the skills you will bring to the team. You are the best at what you do, including men. As I introduce each of you, I will briefly explain your past and skills. Claire says, her eyes meeting every set sitting around the table. We glance at each other. The look on every face is one of intrigue and insecurity. Starting on my right is Jackie Ross. She is a former Delta Force who I met when she was seconded to SEAL Team 5 for a few missions. Her specialty is her accuracy with the rifle and her step. Don't be fooled by her short stature and childlike looks. Speaking from experience, I can assure you that she's deadly. She will be one of our snipers. Her handle is Freya. Like the rest of us, it was established in the past. Claire pauses while everyone welcomes her. Next to Jackie is another of our expert snipers. But where Jackie and I are expert fixed position shooters, Nevada Phillips is deadly accurate while on the move. I witnessed this accuracy as she shot targets dead center from the back of a moving horse. Nevada was a U.S. Deputy Marshal in the past, and she goes by the handle Lone Star. Claire grabs the glass of water and drinks while we welcome Nevada to the team. Up next is a lady we will all rely on very heavily, Mae Jensen. Mae was a member of SWAT, and her expertise is explosives. She will cover our backs during extractions by creating diversions. Her handle is Knight, short for Ignite. Beside her is Kelly Riddle, another Australian who has settled here in the U.S. She was a member of the Army, and although proficient with most weapons, her real skill lies in hand-to-hand combat. She will be instructing us in such defense. Her handle is Riddle. Claire takes another sip of water, waiting while we welcome each lady that was introduced. Lexa Stone, you were my biggest challenge, and I was afraid you would be my only rejection. Claire glances around the table. Lexa is another Australian who is also Army. She has a ton of attitude and the ability to seemingly disappear into thin air. Lexa is accurate with any type of gun, and her handle of Ghost is certainly appropriate. Lexa gave everyone a stiff nod. The lady to Lexa's right is the person who has us all feeling vertically challenged, Jade Hawthorne. Us shorter ladies in the group all grumbled about Jade having been given the extra inches that we'd been denied. Once the laughter settles, Claire continues. Jade is proficient in jiu-jitsu, boxing, and kickboxing, and I expect she will assist Kelly with self-defense. Instructions. Jade nods her agreement. Jade was with the U.S. Marine Corps. She is both fit and deadly. Despite her size, her targets won't know she's coming before they're a crumpled, bloody mess on the ground. Her weapon of choice is a K-bar, but she's no slouch with a gun. She rides the Harley you were all admiring as you passed. Her handle is Hawk. Jade accepted her welcome to the team. Helga Van Staden, who prefers to be called Haley, will be invaluable when our mission takes place on South African soil. Her father is a native of the country, and she speaks the language fluently. Her skills are numerous and varied. Skills she acquired while she was with the U.S. Army Special Retraction Team. Haley is feisty, willing to take calculated risk and doesn't take shit from anyone. Her handle is Hellfire. Haley's heritage piques my interest. I wonder if she would be willing to sit and talk. The lady with the beaded the lady with the beaded dreadlocks and angel tattoo is Mackenzie Miller. She prefers Mac. This lady is of Viking descent, so it comes as no surprise that her weapons of choice are a knife or sword. I recruited her from Alabama, where she was with the FBI. Mac is the only one who has had the privilege of flying in the company plane. Her handle is Forseti, god of justice in Norse mythology. Mac had intrigued me more than the rest of them. With her being of Viking descent, she is closer to my heritage. I'm half Scottish and half American, but my Scottish heritage is what I grew up knowing. I learned to speak Gaelic at a young age and often slip into the dying language when I'm angry. As important and vital as you all are to my team's success, our next two ladies are crucial. First, Daisy Grace. She was with the Marine Special Forces and is proficient with most weapons. So, what makes her so special, you ask? Daisy has a mind of strategic planning and case analysis that is unparalleled. Add to the fact that she has no apparent fear of anything or any situation, she is one incredibly deadly addition. Daisy is someone we want and need on our side if we are to be successful. Her handle is Daredevil. I reach out, take hold of my glass of water, bring it to my lips, and swallow all the liquid before pouring another. Tiffany Hunter is beside Daisy, and I anticipate they will work closely together. Tiffany is the second best computer hacker I know, the best being Miles Williams in Washington. He's the man who gathered the information on each of you. I don't expect she will be second best for very long. Miles will be arriving tomorrow and will bring Tiffany up to speed. She was with Quantico, which tells you she has a brilliant mind. She will be paramount to locating and keeping track of our targets. Her hacker name handle is Glinda. Tiffany is the person you will liaise with if you have any computer issues. We all turn at once to Tiffany and welcome her. Then watch as she lowers her head, a hue of red staining her cheeks. Last is me, your fearless leader, or witch bitch as I have been called. That comment elicited the laughter I expected. As you all know, I was a lieutenant commander with SEAL Team 3. I left in anger when our last mission to take down an asshole terrorist, Ali Kabar Jabbar, was called off as I was about to pull the trigger and send the fucker into the afterlife in a million pieces. The result of one of our pullback was a village full of dead innocents. Taking him out will be our first mission to be planned over the next 3 months. I want Jabbar and his cohorts blown to fucking smithereens. My specialty is as a sniper, but I'm an expert with handguns, rifles, and machine guns. Claire sucks in a deep breath and runs a hand over her face, relief settling into her eyes. The money for this group is some of what I inherited. Just before I left Alina to return stateside, my father, founder and owner of Chattanooga, along with my mother, brother, and sister, were killed in a car accident. 2 months ago, I sold the business and immediately began on this compound. I have one contact in Washington who is a senior defense member, and the other is an active CIA agent in San Diego. They will feed us information on any problems that need to be eliminated, but who they can't touch. If any of us are captured on a mission, any knowledge of who we are will be denied. From this moment in time, we do not exist to the outside world. So, before we indulge in coffee upstairs and I show you over the exterior, let me welcome you all. Damn, why are all of you so fucking beautiful? We all burst into laughter as Claire waits for us to be quiet before finishing. My handle, which is new, is Phoenix. Ladies, welcome to the Phoenix Force. Our motto, Communicato Ilia Justita, Latin for sharing of justice. Claire stands, and for a few moments we mill about. Haley, Daisy, while the others go upstairs, we'll get your sweets sorted. She says to the two and turns to exit the command room. Claire sent Haley and Daisy with the code cards for their suites, along with a phone, laptop, and pager before she led everyone outside to the gym. Both the pool area and well-equipped gym were hits with us. We all gathered around in the gym. Claire crosses to a bank of cupboards on the back wall. As you can see, there are lockers here for your use. Claire points to the door off to one side. Through the door are 6 showers, 6 toilets, and 6 sinks, so you don't need to go back to your suite after a session. She pulls open 2 doors of the cupboard, revealing dozens of molding vests in plastic wrappers, neatly stacked in various sizes. If your size isn't here, let me know and I'll assure it's purchased. She opened the next 2 doors. The same goes for these helmets. The next section held backpacks. When we go back outside, you'll be issued a tablet, earpiece, and communication devices. After dinner, we'll go down to the weapons locker where you can choose your weapons, gun, rifle, machine gun, or knives, along with ammo. These are to be stored in the safe in your suite unless we are on a mission or training. Communication on missions is to be by handle only. Any questions? A few no's were murmured along with the shaking of heads. Okay, let's continue. We walk across the pool deck and down 3 steps to the ground before covering another 100 yards to our left. As you can see, this is the mock village for training purposes. Most of you would be familiar with something similar, but this is the latest technology. The buildings can be moved by the push of a button to create various scenarios. We will use these to replicate plans for hostage rescue and straight-up firefights where we'll only have a split second to assert who are innocent. As we walk 200 yards to our right, Lexa asks how much land the compound encompasses. 260 acres. Claire brings us to a stop at the state-of-the-art firing range, which elicited a number of comments about pretending the targets were one of the fuckers they wanted to take down. Moving on, we crest a low hill, and Claire points to the bushland beyond that covers the side of a steep hill. We'll be training with full packs on a trail I've had marked out. There are numerous obstacles, including sand pits, vertical walls, water hazards. You get the picture. Most of us have trained on the same kind of course. We all grown, already feeling the weight of the gear hanging on our backs. Obstacle course training was a long way from being a favorite of mine, but it was necessary. I hear you, ladies, but we need to be at the peak of our fitness, accuracy, and sharpness. We have only ourselves to depend on to stay safe. There will be no cavalry coming to the rescue. We have 3 months before we leave for Aliena, and during this time, we will be working a lot of 12-hour days. We need to operate as one. There is no margin for error. Everyone nods in agreement. We are the Phoenix Force, ladies, and the assholes of the world have no idea what is about to hit them. Claire holds one of her hands out in front, and everyone places theirs over the top before thrusting their other arms high and shouting the Phoenix Force into the air. It was the beginning of our journey. I had finally found my purpose and a sense of belonging. Boy, if that wasn't perfect timing. All right, everybody, go get your coffee because this is going to be one of those you won't want to miss. Say a prayer for Nina and all the rest of them that are in Florida. The storm's just getting started, y'all. It's already taken lives, so just say a prayer for them all. I didn't get it up there. Usually, I didn't see the cost, and Nina forgot to put it on here before she got off. Usually, Julie's books are KU. Julie, if you're still on here, can you give us the dates on your book? Let's see. Okay, it is on KU or no, they don't give me a process. I got KU, but it is on KU. So whew. And there are 12 books in this. There's a prequel, and these are all by different authors. You have Susan Horsnell, if I said that right, Liliana Rose, Susie Love, Deanne Linden, Miss Julie wrote book 6 as well, Alicia Mary, Rebecca Barber, Vi Summers, I think I've heard of her, J.O. Mantell, K.S. Frayton, and Kinley Crane, and then Miss Julie. So, everybody go get the book and read it. I mean, you got a whole series there, so you just start them up and keep them going. All right, everybody. Have a good evening. Have a great weekend. I guess I will see you guys in November for when I start my live reads back up full time again. Until then, behave yourself and be safe out there. Love you, girls. Good night. Happy reading.